Hey, Eric.
What?
Hey, welcome. Hey, good to see you again.
Hey.
Did you know that if you like this podcast, you can support us on Patreon?
Why do you phrase these as questions? I know the answers to these questions.
Well, it's a bit, Eric. Commit to the bit.
Yes, Chris.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. We offer early access and bonus episodes. We have some pretty good bonus episodes out there that we are going to record in the future. And at this point in time, when we are recording this, we've recorded, 3 of them? And they're all pretty good. At least one of them's good.
Yeah, one of them's definitely good.
Yeah, the other ones are probably going to be good too. So please go out there, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/retroam. And now, would you like to hear some hot sounds that I've recorded?
Mark recorded them.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast about Xenogears. On this podcast, we talk about the game a lot until we continue to talk about the game until we can't stop talking about the game. Yes, that's what I said tonight.
Right.
Thank you. My name is Chris. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hey, look forward to Retrograde Amnesia 2 when we talk about this game again.
Whoa. Okay, what if that's what this podcast was, where we finish the game and then we just go back and do it again?
And play it again and see how similar the episodes are?
It sounds like a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. Maybe in 7 years. We'll do that. So we left off. We left off with Shevat. Shevat is over with, right? I mean, the main part.
We start off this sequence still in Shevat.
Yeah, the queen has. She had a bunch of by the way.
Yeah,
Nisan is under attack. My guys, you might want to go do something about that. Because
I know you just fought, but it's time to fight again.
It is always time to fight, and luckily our main character Faye, he's always ready to go to beat some ass.
Yeah, if he had a trading card and it had his things he was good at on it, it would say first one loves to fight.
Yes, indeed, he does love to fight.
Before you went to go fight, though, did you do anything else around Shevat?
No, not really. I felt like I went and cleaned up some dialogue that we may have missed last time, but I couldn't find anything.
Okay, I have one egregious oversight and correction.
Oh yeah,
we failed to miss something fairly important last time in Shevat.
Oh,
there's a big dog.
A big dog.
When you walk in, there's a big dog just sitting on those steps.
Oh yeah, I do remember the dog, the big fluffy looking guy.
Yeah, big dude. So I apologize. Yes, the dog barks when you touch it, so I guess you can pet the dog in this game.
Yes, the petting is implied, yes.
So after our big battle, I went to go check in with Yui.
Oh, yeah.
See if she had any more dialogue.
Anything?
Yui says, Faye, be careful. No matter what happens, never give up.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, Yui.
Thank you.
And since I don't know when we're coming back here, I want to take this opportunity to play the live version of Shevat's music, The Wind is Calling.
Thank you for the live version of Shevat's music, The Wind is Calling.
Yes, thank
it's very
you,
nice.
Pirates. It's very
I haven't
nice.
heard it yet at this time. We are recording this, so I hope that my future self has enjoyed it.
So where'd you go next? Did you go back to the Yggdrasil?
I do also have one egregious oversight and correction about this, and I think I fixed this in post in the future.
All right.
I've done this. I kept making a mention to like how the Shevat music gives me a Zeal vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually the Kingdom of Zeal song, it's the Zeal Palace theme. It's got a lot of little bells in the background. Which I think is very, very evocative of this.
So the music that we were climbing Babel Tower with, that I placed the Zeal music next to, that was the incorrect comparison because I thought they still sounded similar.
They do, so maybe. Who knows? I don't know. We'll check it out later and then delete all this whole part if it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Come see our new podcast, Mitsuda's Toolbox.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a neat idea.
Yeah, also you can't see a podcast. So anything else before we got back to the Yggdrasil?
No, that's it. We've got to beat ass. It's time to go beat ass. Let's burn ass to go beat ass.
Your metaphor's crashing, dude.
You know, burning ass.
Burn ass.
Isn't burn ass like when you run so fast your ass is burning?
Mine's chapped when I've run for a long time.
We've got to chap ass back to the Yggdrasil.
Okay.
And do some Yggdrasil, and it's time to do that.
Who's your Yggdrasil first?
Well, you know what Chu-Chu told me?
What, in the Yggdrasil?
Yes.
What did Chu-Chu tell Chu?
Chu-Chu told me that Chu-Chu is ready to fight at any time, and you know what?
Yeah.
Chu-Chu is coming with me.
Chu-Chu likes to fight.
Chu-Chu likes to fight. Chu-Chu is in my party now. Thank you, Chu-Chu.
Is Chu-Chu the guy at the bar who likes to fight?
He's just there looking for a fight?
Yeah, basically. Like, you can tell he wants to kick somebody's ass.
No, Chu-Chu he's the guy at the bar who likes to fuck.
No.
So no, he's not. If he has to fight to get that, to sort of get its way,
you wounded
her
me.
way, then maybe, but no.
Okay. Well, thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Did you speak to anyone else?
One dude says that Shakhan better have his tombstone ready.
Yeah, dude.
Which is an incredible piece of shit talking. I just want to highlight there.
I mean, what do you want on your tombstone was very popular in the 90s for a commercial for take-home frozen pizza. Mm-hmm. Which, it's never good.
True. I did actually consider making a pizza joke here, but since Papa John exists, we don't really need to do that.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're about 2 weeks removed from 40 pizzas in 50 days or whatever.
And it especially plays well here since he's from here, lives here, where we live.
He's from New Albany, Chris. Don't besmirch my city.
I mean, no, he's from Jeffersonville, actually.
Whatever. Who cares? Southern Indiana sucks ass anyway.
We have some New Albanian listeners. Shout out to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Initializing fake net.
Eric would like to apologize for the incendiary comment. The last time he was in New Albany, he attended an infant's funeral.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. New Albany's one that doesn't have a toll, right?
Yes.
Localreference.com.
Yes. Just take the I-64 bridge across there.
Right.
Sherman Mitten. Shout out to Sherman Mitten, whoever the hell that is.
Yeah.
3 people will get that joke.
I talked to the doctor. Mm-hmm. You speak to the doctor?
The doctor's afraid of heights. Egregious oversight and correction.
Yes.
That we forgot to mention at the top of this podcast, but the Shevat people have told us that they have upgraded our sand submarine to fucking fly.
Yeah. Well, the doctor says, what? Later, I'm afraid of heights. But actually, the first thing that happens is Bart tells us this is the 3rd Yggdrasil, and then Sigurd tells Bingo he'll have to learn everything again.
Yeah, but Bingo's fucking ready.
Bingo's down. He's just happy to learn, dude.
Also, speaking of the doctor, did you talk to the guy in the doctor's office?
No, what did he have to say? The guy with the sling in his arm?
Yeah.
Who's always there, who's never healed?
Yeah, he said he's only been pretending to be sick.
Oh, okay.
Once he saw Chu-Chu being so brave, he decided that maybe he shouldn't be such a pussy.
Well, I don't know if that's what bravery is.
It's not what he says verbatim, but that's pretty much his thing, yeah.
So, the whole delivery of this thing can fly now is pretty casual and matter of fact.
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
It's kind of like, hey, this can fly now, LMAO, all right, let's go.
Yeah, there's, I think the best piece of dialogue about that was there's another guy in the bunk area that says, he's like, oh, I didn't really think it could fly. Who would have guessed? And then in parentheses, he says, I hope I'll have a pretty bride.
I mean,
it's a complete
you know
non
what?
sequitur.
Yeah, I have disconnected thoughts all the time.
Yeah, I do too, but
It's like, I'm hungry. I should go to the bathroom. Where's my car?
yeah, I guess we'll probably get to this later, but like I can never tell if the parentheticals here are supposed to be whispering or if they're inner thoughts.
Are you
Because
saying
there's some whispering later.
You saying Faye can like mind control, like mind read?
I just think it's an uneven localization.
Oh, okay,
in that
weird.
part, yeah.
Strange. So, Chris, give me your impressions of flying the Yggdrasil.
Well,
What's this thing feel like?
it feels like, well, as one of the guys on the bridge says, that I can feel the wingtip stalls and the hammerhead stalls and the helps maneuver and the grumble grumbles is what this one guy says.
Yeah.
But it feels kind of uneven. Like I don't know what button to press to make it go forward.
Triangle. You hit triangle.
Yeah, it feels weird and out of place.
This is before controls were truly standardized.
Yes, that's true.
To me, it feels like it's heavy. Like the thing's got big rudders you got to turn
Yeah,
to make all those
it feels
turns.
like it should fall out of the sky.
Yeah, I can't believe it doesn't, given the... Well, I guess the drunks are all in charge of the boat, so you can't really sink that. Well, I guess you can sink a boat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure. Yeah, another guy on the bridge also told me that they have a compass that can aim in 15 different directions,
That's it?
which doesn't make any sense.
I mean, aren't compasses usually 360
I
degrees?
think he was referring to like the weapon systems or something.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't really sure, but it was something that Shevat had given them, so it's weird.
Shevat has invented 5 more directions than they previously
Indeed.
had.
Thank you. There are now more than 4 cardinal directions.
Did you make any stops before Nisan?
I have a question first.
Okay.
So as soon as you launch the ship, of course, Bart says that he's going to now call this the Yggdrasil the Third or something
Yeah,
like that.
the third Yggdrasil.
Shout out to Lupin the Third. But anyway, the music starts. The flying music starts.
Yeah.
The flying music is not called flight though, right?
It's called Wings.
It's called Wings. Okay, I needed to get that cleared up. Are we going to play that?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's weird. I actually did not do any sort of side quest in here. Mm-hmm. So what do you got?
Well, you had done a check-in last time, so I was like, I'll do it this time to
Yeah.
see what's going on. I went to Nordtune.
Oh, you went to Nordtune.
I had to go check in with Diana,
Oh, how's Diana
the
doing?
D-Block doctor. She has nothing new to say.
Nothing new at all.
Yeah, it's
So
the
no new
exact
dialogue.
same. I think her last thing was like post head injury, Diana, where she just garbled out nonsense.
Poor Diana.
I think she might be done
Oh.
for the game, at least until Disc 2.
Okay.
So then I went back to Dazzle because I had some people to check on. Who do you think I'd checked on in Dazzle? Think about it.
The bar, the Big Joe,
Not the Big
guy
Joe
with
bar.
his-
I should have done that.
the guy with the
waterworks?
the water guy. Yeah.
The piss problem? No,
Yeah.
not that either. You get one more guess.
The ethos.
Yes, I wanted to see if they knew their organization had been tanked.
Yeah. Did they?
No.
No, they're just
They
working.
kept working.
Working their day
Paychecks
jobs.
are still showing up. Although it's interesting, I wrote that note down, but we find out something later in this same chapter that might recontextualize that.
Oh, interesting.
That's
So before we go to Nisan, we should probably talk about the title of the chapter, Protect Nisan.
Oh, right. It's Protect Nisan.
Yeah, what do you got for me?
The real title is either Smile of Nisan, Family Treasure, or The Fatima Countermeasure. Smile of Nisan, Family Treasure, or The Fatima Countermeasure.
I'm going to go with the Fatima countermeasure.
For sure wrong. It's Smile of Nisan. I remembered. I got it. I did it.
Congratulations to that. That Smile of Nisan. That's subtle.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
One more thing. On the advice of the FAQ that I've been lightly touching on, it advised me to go to the northern ice cap peaks and fight some of those big fucked up dragons so I can get devil dresses for my girls.
Oh, cool.
And I did, and it took forever.
Oh, well, I didn't have a lot of time to do this chapter, so I didn't do anything fun like that.
Cool.
Also, I didn't take any girls unless you count Chu-Chu.
Yeah, no, Chu-Chu identifies as female. That's been
Thank you.
established.
I don't know if Chu-Chu can wear the girl clothes.
That's a good question. Can you equip Cuckoo?
Chu.
Cuckoo.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I gave Chu-Chu the Chu-Chu idol, which I don't know what it does.
Initializing fake net.
It increases Chu-Chu's attack and defense by 20%. It can be confusing because percent-based accessories never show the stat change on the status screen.
I wish you hadn't told me that because now I have to go back there and get some more dresses.
Oh, well, maybe. Who knows? Who'd you bring with you?
To Nisan?
Yeah.
Well, that's a complicated question. Oh, you mean on the way in?
Yeah,
Like,
the
when
very
you first get there?
yeah.
I took Sidon, Ellie, and Faye.
Okay, I have Faye.
The core trio.
The whore trio?
The core trio.
Oh, this is the whore trio.
No, what? That's weird.
Okay. Didn't know you felt it that way about Ellie, but okay.
Initializing fake net.
To be clear, Eric did just say,
The
Faye.
core trio.
shame on you, Chris.
I was going to say Sidon slept around more than anyone else. Look at that.
Oh,
fucking guy.
absolutely. Yeah. Just ask our friend. So anyway, I took Faye, Bart, and Chu-Chu because I'm committed.
You're taking Chu-Chu with
yes,
you.
I'm
That's
committed to Chu-Chu.
That's the burden you're going to bear.
just for this episode.
Okay.
I mean, Maybe later. I don't know.
Look, I had Chu-Chu my final party the first time I beat this game, all right?
But it actually makes sense to do that. We'll
Yeah,
talk about
if
more of
you're
that later.
insane.
But here, maybe it doesn't. So anyway, yeah, it's weird because when you arrive at Nisan, at first it's playing the
It's Invasion.
well, actually before that, because when you first walk into the town, when you're still in like the bitmap area,
Yeah.
it's playing the actual Nisan music.
Oh, okay.
So I get there and I'm like, oh, I guess everything's okay.
Yeah.
But then you go into the actual town area and then Invasion begins to play.
Cool.
And I was like, Invasion, tone
Sneaking
set.
music.
Yeah, tone set.
For me sneaking around.
Sure, yeah. I expected to be sneaking around, but not really.
So everyone is speaking in parentheses.
Yes, it's awfully quiet here and everyone's whispering.
They spy on Nisan from the greenery above the city.
Chu-Chu wonders, where did all the townspeople go, Chu?
I'm glad that even in non-essential dialogue, they're still committed to making Chu-Chu talk like Chu-Chu.
That's why I'm committed to Chu-Chu, because the localizers were committed to making Chu-Chu be Chu-Chu.
So my, I guess, dialogue, Ellie speculated that the townsfolk are in a secret shelter.
Yeah.
And then Sidon resolved to help the populace, but only because Shakhan will come for us next time. So Sidon is a dude only worried about his own ass.
Yeah, and he kind of has a feeling about what's going on. He's using his predictive analytics to kind of figure out what's going to be going on
Right.
here. Bart wondered. I had Bart with me, and Bart wonders if maybe that the soldiers haven't found what they're looking for, or maybe they've already found it and they're just left behind some guards. And I'm like, I want to just grab Bart and pat him on the back and be like, Bart, the way I see it is that this is a trap. Obviously this is a trap, and
Clearly a trap, Bart.
then Bart and Faye get a little bit concerned about Margie. They're like, Margie is probably like not cool with everything that's going on here, and she's probably going to sneak off the Yggdrasil, but let's just not worry about it.
Put herself in her hat.
Yeah, she just not there. They effectively predict that Margie is going to get loose and try to get up to no good, but they do nothing about it. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable conclusion that a party of Faye, Bart, and Chu-Chu would come to. It's like, Margie's going to be in trouble, but we're not going to do shit about it.
Can you imagine Rico sitting in his room in the basement by himself, and they assemble the party, and Chu-Chu's tagging along with these motherfuckers?
Rico's he's shedding tears.
He just looks at Hammer and he's like, "Oh God!" Like
They're
picture
taking
his
the fucking
face in his
Chu-Chu.
hands.
Yeah.
So as our characters have alluded, there's Nisan's abandoned. There's guards, Ave guards patrolling around the place. Kind of just looks like your typical invasion sequence.
Yeah.
So what do we have to do to these guards?
Well, Sigurd shows up for a second too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he's like, everything's quiet on the other side. Don't worry about it. And they just kind of have some sort of planning discussions here. But then he goes off because he's got to go command the other unit, which I guess he's commanding the other party on the other side of this sort of reconnaissance effort.
I had Sigurd coming, at least in mine, after our conflict here.
I think he comes both.
Oh, both. Okay.
Well, but for me, he did come beforehand, so
Okay.
I'm not sure. If maybe that's a product of me having Bart with me. Who knows?
Possibility.
Yeah, the battle music starts immediately. Even before you crash into battle, they're like, hey, let's go beat ass.
Like, it's just the music for this place.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop.
Yeah, they jump down and the battle starts and we just start beating up soldiers.
So you know what's unique about fighting in Nisan?
What's that?
It's not built for fighting.
No?
Like, did you notice the camera angles made it look like you were on a stage almost?
Like the stage from the tournament?
No, like an actual play on a stage. Like there was like black, like darkness around some sides of it. Like it wasn't perfectly framed with a camera angle, so it looked like you were fighting on a set, on a stage.
Oh, like Mario 3.
Yeah, like Mario 3. Yeah, like that kind of stage. I'm sorry. So it's like they didn't quite have the resources to take these assets and make them a presentable fighting ground.
Interesting. Also, I kind of thought that, and this mainly plays because I have Faye and Bart with me, but the whole thing where you're like sneaking around and whispering and then you're like, oh, fuck it, let's just go beat ass, and just jumping down and just starting to beat ass seems consistent like with what the type of plan that Bart and Faye would come up with on their own. Like if Citan or Elliot wasn't there to be like, hey, let's
sneak in,
do some,
I know the back entrance, we can just go.
Yeah.
But Faye's like, I could use another 3,000 experience points right now. Let's murder about 30 people.
Yes. So this is my first exposure to Chu-Chu in the small battle system.
Yeah, I haven't used Chu-Chu as a person yet. How does she fight?
She's got basically no death blows.
Great.
At all.
Okay, so well-developed character.
Yeah, great. No death blows at all. Can't learn any. But all of her attacks are like these wacky Saturday morning cartoon attacks where she palms people's faces and does double kicks and stuff like that. And all the sounds sound like the sound that you make when you like squish together a bunch of like a water bed and a fucking giant like
okay. So I had a waterbed for like 15 years.
Yeah, so. You did, didn't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's weird. It's wacky. It's
did it
dumb.
Work?
But they're well animated attacks, and
does she incur more damage than Maria? Is she actually a viable character?
Oh yeah, she's way more viable than Maria. Like there seem to be certain characters that she can really do a lot of damage to, especially if you just mash triangle. That seems to be the best way to do damage. She's also got a couple of healing spells and different kinds of spells like that. So.
You can always use another healer.
Sure. Anyway, after you win a battle, the battle music keeps playing.
Yeah, but you get, you just fight like successive battle after battle after battle with these guys. Yeah,
the guards just seem to be coming from all over the place, just running haphazardly, just completely mapping to the opposite direction that you move to, so you have no choice but to fight them.
Yeah, you can't jump and avoid them and like secretly find the gate.
Also, I noticed something about Faye at this point has an ability, which I don't know if I learned it here or if I had already learned it, but he has an ability called Radiance. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to point out that the description of this ability in the menu, it says explode with space chi.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which I love the idea of exploding with space chi.
Yeah, when I wake up every morning.
Is he bringing chi from space?
Who can say?
Who knows?
I mean, Faye's got some cosmic power, right? We got Big Bang coming out.
Also, this is the first time that we can notice that we have 7 AP.
Yes.
So our limiters have been removed by our buddies.
We can hit people
Shevat.
one extra time.
Yes, and so now we have that, and we can start learning our final death blows in this game.
Yes. So what is our victory met with? Like, what do we get as a reward?
Well, one thing to point out, and I don't know if I just missed this when I was playing the game, but like I didn't know what my objective was here. I thought I was supposed to get to the cathedral.
Yeah.
So I tried to go that route, and they're like, no, we have to stay here. So I was like, I don't know what to do, and I just ran around. And the goal actually is to clear the city of soldiers.
Yes, you got to beat everybody. One of mine, I had to play this sequence twice for a reason I'll get to later, but the second time one of them got hung up on a wall and was like running in place.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get to me. But our actual victory, what we get is another preview of Disc 2.
Oh, yeah. We zoom out to the bitmap of Nisan and get a little narration. Mm-hmm. And
may I?
Go ahead.
With the help of Faye and his colleagues, Nisan was freed from Shakhan's army. However, the Fatima, Jasper, and the legendary treasure of the Ave family were still in danger. And now he's going to play his last card, and Shakhan's true intentions will be brought to light. Next time on Xenogears.
Yeah, you did the English Dragon Ball Z voice guide without knowing about it.
Really?
Because I think you've only watched Dragon Ball Z in Japanese, right?
Yeah.
That's what the narrator who says next time on Dragon Ball Z sounds like, what you just did.
I may have seen it and internalized it.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it in English. I wouldn't do that, sir.
No,
don't judge.
I don't judge dubs anymore.
Okay.
Because they're better now, these days.
If you say so.
In 2019. 2020. So anyway, yeah, I also wrote down this is a weird Disc 2 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where we don't really have a ton of... Well, it's when Xenogears starts to violate the sort of show don't tell.
Yeah. This feels like a Don Draper quick idea where he's like, listen, you want to save money? Just tell people what happened.
Didn't we have a bit of this before?
Yeah, I forget where exactly.
It was the post Shevat stuff with the orgy.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah. The Chu-Chu orgy where Fane and his friends lived happily ever after.
And that's when they lost their limiters were removed. So at this point, they're like, do it again. Somebody write a scene.
We did it once.
No, we don't have time to write a scene. We don't have time to show this. Just fucking narrate it. Okay, let's go.
Awesome.
So anyway.
Fix it in post.
Disc 1 sucks too. This podcast is canceled.
We're done.
So then we cut back to Nisan. And Sigurd is alone. He's on the bridge.
We've got bird noises.
He's on the bridge. He's collecting his thoughts. This is the same bridge that Bart collected his thoughts on way back when he first found out about Solaris.
It's the thought collecting bridge of
Yes,
Nisan.
it is, indeed. But we haven't done this in a while. We had not had a character alone in their thoughts in quite some time.
Have you ever sat on a bridge by yourself and collected thoughts?
I don't think so, but I always feel like I want to.
Dude, it rules. I've done that many times.
I might go do that tomorrow. Is it going to be warm tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be like 60.
Okay, I'm going to go do that at like 11:30.
It's December 22nd.
Yeah, well.
Just for context.
Yeah.
It should be 30. So, after that, Bonds of Sea and Fire starts playing?
That's right. Sigurd walks through the town and goes into that meeting room when everyone's here.
It looks like a bunch of Muppets.
Yeah. What?
Like everybody's like flying their colors and everyone looks kind of weird. Like they're all packed. Like all of our entire main cast is aesthetically diverse in color and style.
That's true.
And packing them all in the same room is just like a rainbow of party members. Like everyone else just looks normal. These look like party members.
They do.
And guess what? They're party members other than I guess Sigurd.
And Sister Agnes is here as well.
Yeah, Sister Ag, she's coming back. Talking to Margie.
Giving us some plot and some lore. She says that over half the residents have fled. Shakhan no longer cares about his reputation, and this is the reason that he attacked. And to me, it seems like he's no longer worried about the political situation in the Kingdom of Ave. He just worries about his credibility with Solaris.
Right.
Because he already knows they think of him as a puppet.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, fuck this. I don't care about necessarily... like. And maybe this is true too, that he knows that Solaris doesn't care about the existence of anybody on the surface.
Yeah, no, there are
maybe
pieces.
he's been has gotten word of like the Night Purge.
To bridge.
Where he knows that at any point when Solaris no longer cares about a specific person or party or organization, that they will just fucking try to destroy them.
They're going to press the vaporize button.
So we already know that he's a member of the Ethos too. So he's here just trying to kind of backdoor his way into the organization. He's like trying to make friends with one person in the friend group so that he doesn't get excommunicated from the entire friend group.
He wants to go, the dog's about to get kicked out, so he's trying to go kill something to impress Master. Maybe.
We find out too that everyone is hiding in the mausoleum.
Yes. In the mausoleum, for some reason, I thought that meant like another word for cathedral.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what words mean because I'm an idiot.
Well, also, you can never quite assume that everything that you read in this game is necessarily what the intent was.
Yeah. But Sister Agnes, who, first off, I'm a big fan of NPCs without portraits who disappear for 20 hours, then come back.
Yeah, me too.
It's great. It's great to see you again, Sister Agnes.
Yeah, I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you. Bart happens to tell us the fabled Fatima treasure is also in this mausoleum.
Yes, Margie also tells us along the way that this is where the great mothers and kings of old are revered. It's basically where the cousins who fuck the cousins live, I guess.
Fuck yeah. I mean, when she said that, I instantly thought of, in any kind of fiction, in any kind of like a king's ground, in mausoleums especially, there's giant statues of dead kings. So you know that shit's gonna be back there somewhere. Bart says that if we follow the legend, we can get our hands on, quote, great power.
Ooh. Do we have to have great responsibility too with that power, Bart?
Most likely. The Spider-Man wouldn't come out for 3 years in movie form.
So, yeah, Sister Agnes has been talking about how Shakhan is after the Fatima Jasper.
She says some weird shit.
Yeah?
She says they plan to use the former mother's retinas to break the seal.
Yeah.
She says the word retinas. Not jewels, not eyes, retinas. Biological material.
Indeed.
Minority Report.
Did you also note that Bart, he explained that the treasure, or at least when Bart was explaining what is inside the mausoleum, he says his father's will is also there. And I want to know if Bart means his father's will or his father's will.
Yeah.
Like literally a piece of paper about what he owes people when he dies, or the will of or his sort of regal,
the mission statement of his kingdom.
Dictation. Yeah, exactly. I'm not quite sure. Wasn't quite sure how to read this. And also, Faye, in a moment of clarity here, he was like, "Oh, is the treasure the picture from that scroll you showed us way back when in your lair?"
Thanks, Faye.
Yeah, thank you, Faye, for that little callback there. We appreciate that. So yeah, the retina.
That Bart seemingly confirms they want to use the dead body of Margie's mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I thought it was like, oh, they're just alluding to something. He's like, no, we're gonna be worried about this. And then Agnes responds by saying they use citizens and sect followers as shields,
and
so they're out for blood.
Yeah, Margie's mother hasn't been dead for that long either, has she?
Yeah, I think they were
that,
like just kind of en masse killed right before they kidnapped Margie, right?
I believe so. So that means that don't eyeballs decompose.
Yeah,
so you wouldn't be able to do that right away.
I mean, there's all kinds of like medieval tales about keeping Rasputin's dick around in formaldehyde. So perhaps they have similar dick-preserving technology for eyeballs.
Somebody please stop me from making the title of this episode dick-preserving technology.
Which one of the Russians is still around? Is that like Lenin?
What?
There's a dead Russian, the World War II dude is like embalmed in prison. Stalin, thank you. I always get Stalin and Lenin confused. I don't know why.
One's worse, but they're both bad.
One of them looks like Louis C.K.
Also bad.
Yeah.
Not as bad as those two, though.
So Bart clears things up and says the Jasper uses the Fatima retinal pattern. Guess who also has a Fatima retinal pattern?
Bart?
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a standard issue iris store, basically.
Yeah. He calls it the topaz blue pupils of the Fatima dynasty.
Yeah, topaz is a type of emerald, right?
It's like a bluish color. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know why the retinal pattern and the color would matter, but maybe those are both two parts of the.
I don't even know if you inherit though. I have different color eyes than both my parents, so I don't understand like what the shit.
I think that certain eye colors are recessive and certain can be dominant, but I don't know. This is not a DNA podcast.
Chris and I both have blue eyes, so we're mutants.
Yes, both my children have blue eyes, so that's science. That means they're inherited. Okay,
of course.
Thank you.
Great.
My wife doesn't have blue eyes, so that's why blue must be dominant.
Man,
blue must be dominant.
It is.
Okay.
Sometimes
Bart
it'd be
also
like
mentions that no one has used the treasure since prior to Bart's great grandfather.
Yeah.
Is Bart's great grandfather is Ronnie Fatima, right?
I don't know. That'd be 500 years, right? So we've got to pull. No, there's like. Bart's dad is like Ed Bart or Ed something like that.
Sure.
I'll probably have to fake net look that up for us.
Initializing fake net.
Ed Bart Fatima IV, the 18th king of Ave. He is a descendant of Rene Fatima and Roni Fatima.
Definitely, Ronnie Fatima is one of the.
Yeah, he palled around with Zephyr and Sophia and Lacan, right?
Yeah, and they're the ones that used the Omni-Gears to fight back whatever they were fighting.
Yes.
So it had to be him, right?
Right. I think that has to be it.
Yeah.
But I do think that shows a remarkable restraint on the part of his other ancestors in the intermeeting 500 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if his dad was ejected by Shakhan, right? Like, and he didn't feel it was important enough to use that then he had to be saving it for something special later.
Either that or he's incompetent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, one of the
Bart's got to get that from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So resolve starts to build in the group as they're deciding what to do, and the song "The Leftovers from the Dreams of the Strong" starts to play as it slow builds. That's the slow Yggdrasil theme that slowly builds up as we sort of clench our fist and pump them up and get everything ready to go. That song is used a lot in those situations.
It's a prep time song.
Bart says, "That old coot, he wants to profane a holy person's corpse? That's unthinkable."
Dude, I love profane as a verb, and I love Bart talking about a holy person's corpse because he talks about another holy person's corpse later in this chapter.
Then if Faye chimes in, I didn't write down specifically what he said, but it essentially equated to "I am ready to beat ass."
Yes, ready to go.
Let us go.
So we're going to go to the mausoleum.
Sigurd proposes that we take back the capital.
Yes, that is the exact thing my note says. So good job there.
Oh, yeah, we are of one mind here. Yes,
and I was like, oh boy, another plan.
Yes,
we're gonna plan something else.
Sigurd's going to go do that while the military is occupied with this issue of the Fatima Jasper and whatever's going on with
so they fucked me here.
Oh,
because Bart is a mandatory party member, and obviously so is Faye.
Yeah.
So they ask you, how this unfolds is they want you to send one person off with Sigurd to go take back the Ave capital while we invade the mausoleum.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to pick one person to go with you to the mausoleum.
Yeah.
The way this was worded, I did the opposite of what I thought.
Oh.
And my plan was to send Maria over with Sigurd because it's a foot battle, and what use is she? I don't know how long it's going to last. When do I get her back? But and I'm going to take Citan with me. But instead I sent Citan with Sigurd.
Yeah.
So that made for some good dialogue because Citan said, 2 former Solarians will dethrone the ethos. How very ironic.
Oh, cool.
So I'm glad I got that dialogue, but then I had Maria with me and I was like, shit. So I hit that reset button, son.
You did.
I fought all those soldiers over again. And
so who'd you eventually commit to?
Billy.
Okay, cool.
Billy.
I did not get as confused as you did.
Okay.
Saiton did end up going with Sigurd with him, and I, of course, I'm committed to the bit, so Chu-Chu is coming with me.
Okay.
Margie,
For this chapter.
For this chapter. I'm only committed with Chu-Chu for this chapter. So Margie's also coming with us, by the way.
Yeah, she is going to be with us as if she were in the Ramses Miang fight, where she just kind of stood by and without animation and just stood there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the plan is set. Sigurd dispatches. The rest of our party members go back to the Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Do stuff.
Yeah, we only need 3 guys. Sorry.
Get ready.
I picture it like still like team captains in grade school when somebody picks for the dodgeball team, and then you're just hoping you get picked, and then you never do, and then Rico has to go back and hang out with Hammer again. Or does he show up?
It's unfortunate. So yeah, they go outside and they convene and discuss how they're going to get to the mausoleum. And would you like to know what Chu-Chu says?
What does Chu-Chu say about mausoleum?
I don't mind taking a little walk, but not too long a hike. Must we walk far?
Okay. So Chu-Chu's got like, does Chu-Chu have knees?
Knees?
Yeah. Or is it just like little
kind of like bird legs
sticks that protrude? Okay, so backwards knees like the aliens in the Arrival.
I mean, I actually don't know if the knees are what's the term there where they're jointed opposite the way.
Inverted.
Yeah, inverted.
Sure.
Whatever. I don't know.
Horizontally inverted.
Either way, Chu-Chu doesn't walk, but it works out because Chu-Chu doesn't walk because it bounces on his fucking head, which seems less efficient.
Head?
Yeah. Do you remember when Chu-Chu decided to go fight the site or the oxen? And it bounced out of the fucking throne room.
Oh yeah,
that is its run animation.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, exactly. And then that. So yeah, Margie's off. She's gonna go wait for us.
So they actually account for a bit of continuity here. Mm-hmm. If there's no one in the town, can't we go rob that shop blind?
Oh yeah, we could.
Bart actually resolves to use the honor system to pay for anything they may buy, which I'm like, come on, dude. You know, we can finally. Of course, wait, they're not selling like the ether double or anything here anymore, are they?
No.
All that stuff's gone. So even if we wanted to steal, we couldn't get the good stuff. And it's here where I realized walking around Nisan's world map finally makes sense, because it's actually a picturesque setting. Yeah. And you actually have to go to a separate location as opposed to walking around the circle of that city for no reason. Yeah,
you've got to walk around all the way to the rear of that the circle lake that the cathedral sits in the middle of.
And that's where the mausoleum is.
That's where Margie's hanging out on the world map, kind of. I think Margie's the second character to hang out on the world map. The first one being Big Joe.
Big Joe, of course.
Yeah, on the way out. It's been a while since we've seen Big Joe. I'm pretty certain that Big Joe's following us, because he always tends to like end up where we are. So
I picture that he runs at the speed of the Flash and he's just everywhere every day.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too. So yeah, we go in and it's a long staircase. And
big staircases.
No, there's no music. The wind swirls and Chu-Chu is fucking rolling down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And it goes on for a while, like the Metal Gear Solid 3 ladder.
Do you think Chu-Chu's light enough to not take fall damage?
Well, I mean, Chu-Chu does have these like bouncy noises, so probably not. It's kind of squishy too. I think didn't somebody comment about Chu-Chu's kind of squishy?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of the friction. So once we get down to the bottom of this giant staircase, Bart forgets what we're supposed to be doing down here.
Yeah, he just stands around and he's like,
This is the first injection of dumb guy Bart in this dungeon, where he just forgets where he is or what he's doing or bumbles into something, and I can't tell if this is the localization or they're trying comedy or what.
I don't know. Chu-Chu says, "Did you forget what we needed to do?"
Yes. Yeah, I've got something like, I didn't write it down, but somebody razzed him like, you know what we're doing here?
Yeah.
And then Margie enters a Sega CD and does a perspective shrinking move and flips a hidden switch.
Yeah, you can actually, you get a dialogue choice here.
Oh, of like, do you know what to do, yes or no?
Yeah, you can say, no, I'm going to remember, or please help me.
I wanted Bart to get razzed, so I said, please help me.
Well, since I died on the next section because I have Chu-Chu from my party, I got to try both.
Oh, damn it, Chris.
And if you say, I'm going to remember, you find that panel.
Yeah, there's like a secret switch.
Yeah, in the upper northern portion of the corridor, and it pulls down this fucking spaceship panel.
Yep.
Which feels out of place for where we are, but we're going deep into it. And then basically a spaceship latch or door opens up.
There's computer sounds and there's a door lowering. And all this feels like haphazardly assembled. This whole sequence of like confusion of how to get in and everything. Like they were trying to go for something cool and it just kind of looked they didn't handle this great in my opinion.
No, I don't think that the transition from liberating Nisan, first of all, the liberation of Nisan in general was just kind of half-assed anyway. It didn't.
Bunch of soldiers we've already killed a billion times.
Yeah, it never culminated to anything significant, and maybe that was by design because
we got a lot of it coming up.
There's a little bit of a feint going on here from the Shakhan perspective, but also just getting to this secret dungeon, and all we have to do is go down this long staircase that Margie and Bart happen to remember existed is a little. I wouldn't say.
Can you tell this earlier, buddy?
Yeah,
something.
It's weird. Because nothing significant happened in the plot of this video game to this point that was a prerequisite for this moment. Like, this could have happened at any point.
Yeah.
Like, they could have gone down this fucking thing and got this treasure a long time ago.
Yeah, you think when Bart was showing him around, I was like, isn't this cool here?
Yeah, there's a really strong thing down here. We should maybe just get that before
like, to know where it is, or like, you know, just take it with us
or
something, man. Shit, dude. So we get down here and Stage of Death is playing for the entire dungeon.
Yeah, we get down here and it's time to do a battle. This first battle is hard if you have Chu-Chu in your party, because Chu-Chu sucks ass.
Against the Shakhan monks, so it's some ethos fools.
And Shakhan guard or Shakhan soldier or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I think there's 4 regular soldiers and 2 of those monk guys that we saw on the attack on the Ethos HQ, which actually is a small bit of passive storytelling here, because now it is completely out in the open that Shakhan and his people are part of the Ethos, whereas before we didn't necessarily know that.
Yeah.
But after that whole sequence of the Ethos databanks or whatever, now we know that Shakhan is part of that group, and now we know that he can leverage their power.
Yeah. In my head, I almost want to say that maybe those guys were always there, but since we didn't know about the Ethos at the time, like our characters couldn't quote-unquote see that they're with the Ethos.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's some stuff like that I like to think was probably intended.
Those soldiers do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And they killed me the first time I got down here. And Chu-Chu is not good enough to stay alive so that she can also keep me healed.
Great.
So
did she just heal herself over and over?
I just used Chu-Chu to do attacks until it died.
Okay.
And then moved on. Margie also casted rats and it did 1 damage.
Yes, Margie cast rats again. Did she cast her other spell?
No.
That was later for me, so let me find my damn note.
Initializing fake net.
It took Eric a minute and a half to find this information in his notes. I'm not kidding.
So you're right, Chris. Margie casts Rat Fever sometimes, but she also does a new attack called Meteor Strike. What do you think that does?
Meteors?
No.
1 damage?
Yo, it drops a yellow clip art star on their head, morphs their whole body, and does 1 damage.
Oh, okay. I saw that, but I think I happened to look away when she casted it, and I thought it was one of those instances of one of those Ethos monks casting a spell and then it failing and falling on his head, like the Gonzalez caveman did that one time.
It's such a low rent kind of move. I'm glad they gave her something else, but also it does 1 damage and it looks like shit.
Yeah, it's dumb as hell. So yeah, after you win that battle, all the townspeople come and they're like, "Hey, it's Bart!"
They emerge out of the shadows. They've all successfully hidden from these like well-trained soldiers.
Yeah.
But they're all in the circle room with a bunch of furniture coffins are propped up and supported by rows of torches.
Did you notice that one guy calls Bart Laddie?
Yes, I've got him as Laddie Man, who's like we have familiarity with, maybe?
Yeah, he recognizes Bart, but he doesn't quite know who... Like, none of these people know that Bart is Bart.
Well, I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, that's what I was like, you guys don't know about this shit?
Yeah, and apparently they do. They don't, but one guy the Laddie guy is starting to figure it out.
Do you picture him with the Scrooge McDuck voice since he says Laddie?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I wondered why a Scottish man is here, but... We also have Swiss cheese in this universe, so you never know.
Yeah, there's some kind of advanced technology in the center of this place, but I think it's a really neat color palette. It's a mixture of purple and red, and there's everywhere. And then there's the great trope of torches that burn eternally in a place where no one ever lives.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently the whole casket with the retinas is fine.
Yeah.
Like, they're not worried about that right now. The townsfolk tell us that only the soldiers showed up. There was been no sign of Shakhan at this point.
Doesn't Bart not tell them who he is, too? And I was just kind of like, this isn't an open secret? Like, does anyone...
It's weird.
I think Laddie guy might know.
At some point, the song's Tears of the Heart, Stars of the People...
Close enough.
...plays.
Sure.
Is that correct? Bart... It's that point where Bart starts to explain that his friends are headed towards the capital to take it back, and that there is a need to rebuild this country from scratch.
Hell yeah, Bart.
Bart says that he has inherited this task from their late king, and then one dude's like, "Oh shit, I think I get it now. You might." And he doesn't say it out loud, but he's like, "Oh man, this must be the true king." And he says, then he's like, "You got to win this, lad. Lad, you got to win this one, dude.
Have you ever been watching someone else play a video game and you solve the puzzle way before they do, but you don't want to say anything because
Yeah.
you want them to have their own experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After everyone leaves, Bart's like, oh, don't know where all that charismatic stuff I said came from. Must have come from deep down within.
Well, don't worry, Bart. You'll say something stupid in just a minute.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Then we go in the elevator, and we're in a spaceship.
Yeah. Our elevator...
tubular.
It's a tubular spaceship. It's like glass almost. And then it deposits us into Xenogears' second favorite dungeon, Blue Hallways.
Yeah, I didn't know there was gonna be a spaceship here.
No.
I just didn't know. I forgot about
yeah,
this.
it was gone.
I actually, a lot of times when we play this game, I don't remember something until I get there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." I don't remember shit about this part.
Something has to tap into your long-term memory because all this game's in my head somewhere, but some of it, I started having flashbacks to being 16, which is real weird.
Yeah, but before we really get to go start exploring this place, we get to the top, and Bonds of Sea and Fire is playing again.
Yes.
And Chu-Chu smells mold.
Yeah, Billy smells mold with me.
Oh, great.
And Bart's kind of like, yeah, no shit, it's old.
Yeah, sure, why not? And then we kind of go down the hallway, and then we get to the first Jasper lock.
It's two statues.
It's the two statues that we've seen and discussed ad nauseum. It is the two one-winged angel statues, the Anima and the Animus, a.k.a. the Christ and the Sophia.
Faye points this out to us, and I'm like, yes, thank you, Faye. It is the same as the cathedral.
Yeah,
You're right. Good job, Faye. I want to give him a pad and feed him a Christ wafer. Here's where we get to the retinal scanner.
Yeah.
But it needs to scan 2 eyes. How many eyes does Bart have?
Bart's got one eye.
Fuck.
Good thing Margie's here.
That's right.
But yeah. Is this... I mean, I've already said my piece about how the narrative structure here is weird because we did not... Like, this doesn't feel earned.
No, not really.
Know? It feels like we just came here because we needed to come here because we knew Nisan was under attack.
I almost feel like it was with as much as they were talking about the Fatima and Jasper earlier, it feels like it was cut from an earlier sequence and then placed around here.
Yeah, or they just
maybe
they didn't have a way to get back to it easily.
Yeah, they need to circle back. I do like how, Shakhan was there 20 hours ago and Agnes and all that shit, and now we're getting back to it, like, once we're back on course after shit kept getting fucked up over and over and over.
And I also do appreciate the fact that, like, most of the characters in this game, especially the ones that are introduced later in the game, their arcs are resolved almost immediately. Like, Billy has been resolved, Rico has been mostly resolved.
Yeah.
Maria has been resolved, but Bart and Citan and Ellie have not. Like, those are more spaced out more so throughout the entire game. They have active
threads. Also, Old Mason will never be resolved.
Yeah, Old Mason still needs his own game.
So the Jasper was their eyes. It's not a royal pendant.
No,
it was all
not.
faint. And when they use, like when they scan their retinas, the noise it makes is literally telephone touch tones.
Yeah, at first the sound that it made, I thought was like a failure sound. Actually,
oh yeah, like they fucked up.
I wrote my notes. It failed. It didn't work. But actually, no, it did work.
Dude, what if it played that do? We're sorry, your call cannot be transferred to that thing. So this leads us to another series of hallways, and eventually we get to the control room.
Yeah, I fucking got lost here.
Which way's east type thing?
Yeah, well, first we go to that like battleship area, and it's like a red.
It looks like a dark room.
It's the hunt for the Red October right here.
But it looks like it's in like a idle mode, like it's paused, like there's no power to it, and these are the emergency lights. Yeah. That's the control room. You
can't really do anything, I guess, because the power's not on or something like
There's
that.
There's a desert worm item in there, but yeah, the power's not on yet. You have to come back here later when you turn the power on. Desert worm is some kind of item in a treasure chest. I forgot what it did.
It's a Bart whip.
Bart whip, great.
Yeah.
Of course. It's a worm, it's in the desert, you can whip it.
I got lost in the rest of this goddamn thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
It doesn't make any sense. I found a Deathblower 1, which is nice to have another one of those.
Is. The energy block, it's a big arc-like hallway with a bunch of doors on the right. A lot of these doors are dead ends. One of them has a death blower.
This is the worst dungeon in the game.
There's a reason why GameFAQs has its own PNG file map.
Yeah. Let me take this back. It's not the worst dungeon in the game because there are no random encounters here, but it is like a time sink.
It's one of those things where you wish they would have found more assets for different rooms or at least tinted them differently.
Yeah, because everything looks the same. Yeah. It's difficult to figure it out. You've got to start counting doors. It's weird. 2
megabytes of RAM on the PS1, man. So we get to another Jasper lock, and it is in the nearby hangar room. There's like a circular room that we get to it through.
Yeah, then you eventually get to open up a dock.
Yeah, what's behind that dock?
Well, Chu-Chu says, wow, this is Chu impressive.
Wow. What was the thing earlier? Owie wowie or something like that?
Wow. Sorry, Dari. Wow, how wow.
Ouchie wow wow.
Anyway, it's an impressive gear that kind of looks like Bart's gear.
And it's
red.
sitting on a throne.
It is sitting on a throne.
Awesome as shit.
It's the king of the gears, I guess. It's
the king of gears.
It's rather convenient that it has this giant sort of feather-looking thing sticking out top of his head, just like the Brigadier. It's like this seems like
very similar,
tailor-made for the Bart that gear, the gear that Bart randomly made.
Hey, while we're flaming out, what do you call a Bartweiser light? The king of gears.
The king of gears. Why did we start this podcast?
Oh no, man.
I'm glad people like it though.
And Christmas is in 2 days.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's impressive. Something's written on the wall too, by the way.
We find a note from Bart's ancestors saying, "Peace be with us." But here's this massive weapon.
Peace to all those who come here, fearing great calamity. We sealed this legacy, entrusting its fate to you, person who found it.
You think Bart's like, I already killed Calamity.
Yeah. Then the lights come on and a song plays, but I forgot to look up the song. Do you have the song?
Brand new song, "The Treasure Which Cannot Be Stolen."
Oh, great.
Right.
Brand new song. Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure, but I searched the entire Google Doc for the rest of the show, and we hadn't talked about it yet. So
Okay.
It's good. You know, it's new to me, Chris.
New to me. Yeah, the camera pans across the ship as lights start to come on, and then the gear is revealed in full, and we see its majesty. And then the gear. There's this awesome. This is something that has to be from mecha anime in general, but it's probably from Gundam, where the pilot and the robot sort of have this moment.
They bond.
You know how when you have well, this doesn't really happen in real life, but like in a movie, when somebody has a moment when they have like when their eyes kind of catch each other, and then you have this moment of understanding without even speaking. This happens in mecha fiction where the robot and the pilot, their eyes kind of lock, and it's like, and it just kind of lingers on the robot's eyes, and you almost wait for the robot's eyes to light up, even though they don't. This happens here, and it zooms in on the face of this gear, and it doesn't specifically do this, but I can imagine that if this game were made in today's world, that it would zoom in on Bart's face too, and be like, "Oh yeah, I get this. This is mine."
You would do like quick cuts between both of them.
Yeah, this is my destiny.
Until it would merge into one portrait, merging both of their faces.
Yep. Then Bart's like, "We have to move this thing now," and I thought he was talking about the gear, but he's not. He's talking about this fucking thing, the spaceship that we're in.
Yeah. Which I still didn't put that together. I thought he meant the gear.
Not until this moment did I realize, oh, he's talking about this whole contraption. Then we start to get the song that I always forget the title of, Dreams of the Strong, Leftovers or the Dreams of the Strong. Thank you. Starts to play as things start to build up, and then we kind of head to the control room.
Yeah, we have to go back to the control room to power the shit up.
The Scottish guy's there.
Yeah, he's the tool guy. He comes, like, that's the guy that ran the shop, apparently, because Bart called him the tool guy was missing back in town. Now he calls him the tool guy here. He came back to sell us things in case we need to buy things, which makes no sense, but is good in case you need to restock on supplies in the middle of this dungeon.
You never know when you might need a survival tent.
So this chapter apparently has all of the music, because then Flight starts playing as Bart turns the power on and the generator starts arcing electricity.
I like Flight.
Yeah, Flight's a good song. Flight gets me amped, man.
Flight is the same. The last time I heard Flight was when Marie was like running down 45 flights of stairs to get to her gear.
45 flights of stairs.
Flights. That's why it's called that.
It is. Good job, Chris.
Sure. Thank you. It's new information out here on the internet, by the way.
So yeah, Bart powers it on. Then, as you said, a flying fucking saucer comes out of the ground. Something weird happens and makes a stabbing westward noise again, and then it fires an energy shot.
Yeah, the thing emerges from the desert or from the forest or whatever, like it's Figaro Castle.
Yeah.
But except it keeps going, and then it's like, oh wait, this is a flying saucer.
The energy shot has so much power, it turns it from night to day.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then Bart's like, that was an accident.
Yeah, it's like he hit the wrong fucking button.
This is another weird Bart moment, which I like, but also I'm confused by.
Is he talking to himself? It starts playing the Chu-Chu music while he does this?
Yeah, I wondered for a moment, is this because I have Chu-Chu with me?
No, I got that too.
But this is a very odd scene, and Bart's like, maybe this is just like supposed to be like a forced, playful moment.
Yeah, like it suggests that this is like a running jape for Bart to like accidentally fire the massive weapon into a direction and probably shoot down Shevat on accident or something.
This moment only works, I think, specifically for me because I have Chu-Chu with me. And Chu-Chu brings the air of levity to the whole scene.
What did Chu-Chu say?
She said, you're really acting absent-minded, chu-day.
I'm just going to go home.
Yeah, well, podcast over. Then Bart's like, hey, that's Babel Tower over yonder.
Yeah, he actually said that's nice that he can see something tall.
Yeah.
Halfway across the world, I guess. Whatever.
According to Bart, this thing that we're in is called Fort Jasper. Did he know that this was called Fort Jasper, or did he just name it Fort Jasper?
I think he just named it.
Okay.
Absolutely, because no one knows what this thing is.
Okay, good.
He then cites Vanderkamp's cannon and starts talking endlessly, like the screen fills with text.
Yeah, I loved it.
So he like the whole time he just keeps pushing random buttons, and then the canopy opens on this place.
Yeah, the big old dome. The big old dome opening in the sky sets the stage for the predictable bad guy thing to happen.
Who rolls in?
Of course, Shakhan rolls in. He's here with his Etone looking ass gears.
Yeah.
And he's doing the classic bad guy thing of waiting until the hero solves the problem, and then he co-ops the situation.
Yes.
Or at least attempts to co-opt the situation.
He says it was all a setup.
Of course it was all set up. Maybe not the strongest narrative device ever made, but a narrative device nonetheless.
When challenging him, Bart says a very 90s line.
Oh?
Come get some.
Oh, yeah, come get some.
Which is only second to you want one and then aiming your fist backward.
Yeah, 90s lines don't register with me currently in my current existence because my kids are watching a lot of Ninja Turtles, and even in the reboots, they kind of say a lot of 90s lines. So they just wash over me now.
So Cowabunga's just, you're back in that now?
They changed Cowabunga to Booyakasha.
What the fuck?
Initializing fake net.
Listen to the outtakes at the end for the complete Ninja Turtles digression.
So eventually, I have post-shock, and we got to rush back to the hangar and encounter some guards along the way.
Yeah, we got to battle some dudes.
Yeah.
This sucks. I hate it.
This is where Margie casted Rat Fever for me, but they repurposed some Sandman who look like they have some darker colors.
Yeah, they're called freelancers now.
They shoot our legs, but only so Margie can remove the stop status that they inflict.
Yes, thank you, Margie. We appreciate that, always. God, this part, so I was trying to get through this part late at night, and I was already sort of nursing a little bit of a headache, and I couldn't count the doors properly, so I just kept going in circles.
Oh boy, yeah.
And the fucking guys kept respawning over and over again. I'm like, I'm gonna die. Luckily, I'm on emulation, so I kept saving my state so that I wouldn't get this fucked up. But finally, you have to get back to where the point to where the second Jasper lock was in order to progress the story. Once you get in that hallway, a forced encounter occurs with some additional Shakhan soldiers, and you beat them, and then Shakhan comes, and Bart, I think, says the best, maybe not the best, but one of the best shit-talking lines in the game.
Pretty good.
Where he asks Shakhan to kill himself, a fitting death for a clergyman.
That's good.
Which implies that clergymen should kill themselves.
All of them in this video game.
I don't know
What are you
if
talking
I
about,
agree.
Bart?
I don't know if I agree with that, but all the clergymen maybe in this video game that have not repented to this point should kill themselves because they're bad.
Even those guys in Dazzle need to commit suicide immediately.
Are those guys really clergymen? Or are they
they're all from the ethos. They're all part of the cover-up. They move the priests around.
But like think about this in modern terms. Like, is the administrative coordinator for the archdiocese should he or she kill themselves, or should just the priests who are bad
after they assassinate the cardinals? Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to get too deep into that, but I was raised Catholic, by the way. So anyway, yeah, fitting death for clergymen, and then Shakhan explains that he has his own motives separate from the now defunct central ethos.
He implies that all the ethos have their own sects.
Yes.
And then it won't stop if the central ethos is gone, which is the whole Hydra plan of cut off the head, there's another head.
Yeah, it's interesting, but...
I think he's talking shit here because he says he used Ave and Gebler for his own motives, which is securing this thing that we just found.
I think Shakhan's making up a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's planning to go rogue, which I think he's playing his last card because he's getting in deep shit from all around. And he's got a pretty good position here. He did lure us in here to get this thing on this throne that looks like Bart's gear out.
Yeah. So it seems that we're kind of fucked here.
Yeah.
Because we're being surrounded and then being held down by like 6 guards, even though we've killed 100 of them.
Yeah. Margie makes a break for it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to get loose, which, again... maybe not the strongest narrative device here for just Margie to escape all these guards when our main overpowered heroes are being suppressed. But nonetheless, Margie gets away.
Shakhan vows to send her to hell.
And he wonders if she's trying to protect the Omni gear. I think that's the first time that we are explicitly told that the gear that we just saw is an Omni gear.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that.
I kind of knew it.
Yeah, I didn't ever say there was an Omni gear buried, or no, just an anima relic, which is what is inside the Omni gear.
Yeah, or
right?
a gate or something. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. There's something in, maybe it was a gate.
Sigurd and Sighton arrive at this point for me. And Sighton...
did you send Sighton off with Sigurd?
I don't remember making a selection. I just remember picking Chu-Chu and then rolling.
Weird.
So
yeah.
I guess Sighton probably goes by default here.
If you were like, because I was trying to button through it really quick the last time, and I picked Sighton just automatically, so he must have been the first choice you could pick to send with Sigurd.
Gotcha. So I wonder who he would take if you didn't pick, or if you did bring Sighton with you. But Chu-Chu says, Sighton, it's Chu. So...
okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Sighton, it's Hyuga.
Sigurd explains that he has left Mason in charge of the capital, which I believe that whenever you have the opportunity to leave Mason in charge, you should do so, because I'm sure Mason always got a plan
fine
to get shit
job,
out.
sir.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, Shakhan runs away. He must be scared of Sighton, I guess, because like the stakes are still stacked against Faye and his friends because only 2 people have been added.
Yeah.
They are former elements after all. Maybe that's why Shakhan is scared, but nonetheless, he decides to run away.
Someone says we're running out of time because Bart can't open this door with only one eye.
Yeah.
But who else only has one eye, Chris?
Yeah, well, Bart's got one eye. We've got a door locked here, and we need to get back in there because Margie's not with us. By the way, how did Margie get... oh, Margie's got 2 eyes.
She's got 2 eyes.
Okay, never mind.
She escaped.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so Sigurd's like, let me do it.
And Bart and Sigurd combine eyes. Also, I misspoke earlier. After the sequence, someone said, not, we're running out of time. They said, quote, we running out of time.
Oh, yeah, I did catch that, too. I think that was Sighton, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, so the whole... okay, the Bart and Sigurd using their respective eyes to unlock the Jasper lock here. Too cute?
It's pretty cool. I mean,
I like it.
I hope it's not the only reason they each have one eye. Like, is this plot point halfway through the game? But I like it. It's fine.
Now, this isn't explicitly explained why Sigurd has the ability to do so, but now we can kind of fully understand that Sigurd is related to Bart somehow, probably a brother of some sort.
Yeah,
so,
half-brother is my guess. His mother was slightly more tan.
I accidentally spoiled this way back in like episode 5 or 6 or something, wondering if Sigurd was a brotherly-like figure.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of they look exactly the same. There's like a little bit different, but they're pretty much the same assets.
Yeah, I think I said it based on the way he treated him, like as a big brother kind of figure. And yeah, so that was there. But anyway, it's pretty obvious. At this point, so I saved right here and then finished my playthrough for that night, and then finished it again the following night. And when I loaded it up, I was like, oh, let's let's do some emulation tricks here. And so at that point, I turned on double textures, double resolution for our textures.
So does that
here.
line double stuff, or what does that do?
Yeah, it increases the resolution by double.
Okay.
And
so it maintains the original ratio.
So it makes it a little bit easier to see the words that are on the floor below the Jasper lock. It just says in big red letters, "Notice."
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can read that. I've noticed that in YouTube videos. Like, you can actually read those signs in Aave, too.
Yeah.
With some certain resolution tricks.
Yeah.
So it says notice.
Yeah, it says "Notice."
What'd you notice?
Nothing.
Notice.
I noticed there was a Jasper lock there.
Cool.
And it was the first time I played this game on a large TV. So I was like, I probably need to do something about this. And so I did the texture thing, and it looks pretty nice. This game has nice textures.
Under certain resolutions.
If they can be rendered, yes. Indeed.
So yeah, then we get to the hangar and Fuse plays.
Yes, indeed. And there are Etone gears and all kinds of shit going on here.
Margie's taking damage.
She has infiltrated the gear. And there is a giant explosion. We have to run there. And we run there, and we're under fire by Shakhan's men. Like, you actually see the bullet smoke coming at the feet of our characters.
Yeah.
They've got stormtrooper shots, basically, here. This actually does kind of feel like the whole Death Star portion of A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
When the heroes are sneaking in, and they're being shot at by a bunch of people, and they're all missing to do a thing. It kind of has that feel to
Yeah,
it.
it's funny how often that happens in Star Wars.
And everything else after Star Wars.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so then Bart's like, I gotta get in this gear with Margie, and he gets in there.
Yeah, they get in there, and there are apparently no controls inside of this gear.
No, Margie has been shot in the leg. But she's okay,
She's fine. Merely a flesh wound, a graze, whatever.
Bart's upset at her for being risky, which calls back to the point to where Bart knew that she was going to escape and try to take things over.
Do you sense romantic
long
tension
No.
here? Are you trying to deny it, or do you think there is none?
I sense none.
None. Okay.
Because even later on, Margie's like, "Ew, gross."
Okay.
So
yeah,
I agree with you, Margie. Ew, gross.
Ew, gross.
I don't detect romantic tension here. I detect just the sort of the familiarity, the childhood friend kind of thing going on here. So yeah.
So after the gear reflexively blocks a laser attack, Sidens tells Bart that its controls are all mental, and he asks if he remembers how Ellie and the Omni-Gear and Shevat responded.
Yeah.
Chris, the hell is he talking about?
You don't remember this?
No.
So at some point during the Shevat sequences, somebody walked in, one of like a non-portrait character, non-named character walked in to the Queen's room, and I don't think any of our characters were here. Maybe Sidon was there, and said that the Omni-Gear has reacted to Ellie, or to that girl, or that woman.
So yeah, and she didn't know if it was, her pet. Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember that. It just I didn't know that Bart had context for that.
It was
to receive that information.
Sidon that said that.
I know, but like if Bart would understand what the hell Sidon's talking about.
Bart wouldn't understand anything.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's a good point. So Sidon talks all the time.
Yeah, but haven't we already been given some information about how? Well, we've heard a lot of chatter from various parties across the river here in Solaris about how there's a certain level of synchronization that is needed to have the anima factor, and stuff like that
between their person,
yeah,
to properly match up with this stuff.
Our characters haven't heard that chatter, but we, the player, have heard that chatter. At this
so
point.
we know. It just struck me as something that they didn't necessarily. I thought that was a weird pull to reference that.
You're right.
Like he wouldn't find it's just mental controls, Bart.
Yeah, they're introducing a lot of information here at this point. It's sort of being shown now, even though we've heard about it a lot. And if probably on a first playthrough, you probably don't remember a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're some of that stuff's starting to come to light.
So they go Pacific Rim. The thing stands up, gets out of the throne, and sprouts two gigantic Gothic wings. Yeah,
Bart's like, "There's no control stick, dog," and he's like, "I don't know what to do." But after Sidon explains all that stuff, then he gets up. Yeah, the wings emerge. I get some real Epion vibes here. And
Chris, what's Epion?
Epion is a Gundam that has wings.
Oh, all right, cool.
And it's red.
No, I'm straight. That's fine.
It has a whip too.
Yeah.
So getting those vibes. The mecha designer worked on both Gundam Wing and this thing. So maybe, who knows? Faye and Chu-Chu run off, and apparently Veltal's here.
Yeah.
We've got our gears. In my case,
Chu-Chu just grows.
Chu-Chu just grows, but we're ready. I think Steel Giant's playing here, and it's time to fight.
This chapter really does play every song in the damn soundtrack.
It does, yeah.
What do we fight?
We fight the Neo Etones.
Yes, they have 3,300 hit points each. So, how'd this fight go for you?
It went by pretty quickly.
Yeah. So we've got our brand new gear for Bart. This imposing looking motherfucker that's been sitting on a throne for at least 500 years.
Yeah.
Billy and Faye did more damage than Bart did to these guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you not have Bart upgraded? Because I think it inherits its Brigadier stuff.
I upgraded Bart with all of his stuff. You don't have to. It has all new stuff.
Oh, it does?
I'll find that out later, yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
So it has... I don't know how that happened, but I was like, come on, man. Let me be overpowered for just one fight. But they go down easy. We get 10,000 gold and 2 seal ARs. And what happens when you get 2 new pieces of armor? What should you do immediately?
Put them on?
You should equip them.
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't either because we haven't gotten in the next fight after this yet.
Shakhan runs off in his big dumb gear.
Yeah, he does the hilarious floating exit out of the top of the dome.
He's got like a differently colored version of like the Aachen shell.
Yeah.
Where it has no legs, just a big floating dome underneath of it.
It has the Bow Series hover roller wheel. It looks like a bingo roll. You ever play bingo? Get those little paint dauber things that you roll on your...
Like real bingo, bingo hall?
Yeah, like the 3 a.m. depressing smoke-filled bingo hall.
No, I can't. I think about it a lot.
Do you not play grade school sports?
Initializing fakelet.
Listen to the outtakes to hear the full digression into supporting our Catholic schools with child labor.
So yeah, Margie's not okay.
She's passed the fuck out.
And then we go outside the gear, and sad music is playing. It is, correct me if I'm wrong here, Eric, but it is the Shattering Egg of Dreams song.
I didn't write that one down, but we're going to go with it because why not?
I'm pretty sure it was because I played the song on my television, and then I muted my television and played it on my computer, and it sounded the same to me,
I do that.
but I'm bad at this.
I recorded on my phone and then match it up later most of the time.
Okay, cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So Citan says the bullet passed through. He will apply first aid.
Yes. But I don't think he can actually help because he's not a real doctor.
No, he's not.
But
also, first aid doesn't exist here.
Yeah,
There's no first aid kit. No one's got the Band-Aid pouch.
We do have heal spells though, so she should be okay.
Just use magic, dude. You got like full ether. We didn't get in a fist fight, man.
You can only use magic when you're in a battle.
Fixer.
So you gotta go pick a fight with somebody at a bar and be like, okay, now I can heal her.
That's right. Just jab the glass bottle into their stomach.
There is a bit of a heartfelt conversation here, and then Citan just in the middle of it. Like I think this song works really well for heartfelt conversations, and for a moment, and maybe this will hold true later in the game, but for a while I thought this song was going to become the theme of Faye and Ellie. So I think one of the last times we heard it was during
the Thames,
the Night Purge sequence, or or maybe there too. Who knows?
The Thames Doctor Room, Tim's.
Shit,
still doing it.
Whatever. Anyway, there's a heartfelt conversation going on during all this, just about the situation. Nothing of note, but Citan barges in and he's like, I gotta explain some shit about Omnigears. And he says things about Omnigears, which I didn't write down because they weren't that important, because we already know this is an Omnigear.
Well, he says Margie could operate the gear through her strong desire to help Bart.
Yes, we're getting into we're going all anime.
Yes.
Yes, we're going very anime here, to where the will of the people can move the robot.
And then we move to Nisan.
We do. It's very fitting, I think. Do we know the name of this gear at this point? Are we able to extrapolate that from the conversation?
Sure, we can name it. I don't think it's important.
It's the Andarvi, right?
Yes.
The Andarvi. This is the first moment I noticed it has like a giant fake feather on its head, even though it's not it's not artificial.
Metal feathers.
Yes. Yeah, but then you're right. We go back to Nisan.
Margie's in bed. Bart tells her to settle down, and they do the weird flirting thing some more.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the weird... Yeah, this is the moment where she's like, ew, gross. Fuck.
So then, Chris, let it go. Big team meeting.
Big team meeting. Yggdrasil soldier comes in and says something to Sigurd, and Sigurd says, tell Mason that we'll be a while.
Yeah, apparently things are going well in Bledavik.
Yeah, which didn't expect that. Expected someone to come in and say, oh, we need to move now.
Yeah.
But no.
So our big team meeting, and I tweeted this, I noticed everybody was in the room except for Rico. Then you rotate the camera around, and he's standing on the opposite side of a doorway, which is really good.
It's really great.
But after I made that tweet, I looked around some more, and in the back of that room, at least in my game, were Chu-Chu and Maria.
Yeah.
So they weren't in the room with everyone else either.
Chu-Chu was in my party, so Chu-Chu did not move back to that like bar area until I removed it from my party.
Where was Billy for you? Where was he stationed? Was he in the main room with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So Billy has a seat at the table.
Yes.
Cool. So
basically, the priority is basically the same priority as the order of the characters in the instruction manual.
Oh, I see. Sure.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So Shakhan retreated, but we learned he's coming back for a M-gate M-.
Yes. Now he's on to Gates. And Gates, can we refresh Gates? Because I don't remember Gates.
Are you asking me to?
Yes.
I don't remember it either, Chris.
Okay, can I tell you what I think they are?
Okay.
I think gates are the things that prevent Solaris from being found.
That's what I think so too. It's like entry points, portals, a MacGuffin to help you locate something.
Because I think we discussed this with Queen Zephyr, and they knew where one or two of the gates were. Oh yeah, one of them is on Babel Tower. Mm-hmm. I think actually one of them is that rotating mirror on Babel Tower.
Yeah, that makes sense. That could be. I think that's a gate.
And apparently there are two more that we need to destroy or activate or whatever in order to get the Solaris. Because I think that prior to learning that Nisan was under attack, that Faye had resolved to beat Solaris's ass. Yeah. And I think that's probably the next thing on our agenda.
That was his next Terminator target. So we got the gear out. Was there any other point in literally raising Fort Jasper? Are we done with that? What are we doing? What did we do that for?
Why did we do that?
Yeah, why did the flying saucer come out and fire its big goddamn laser? Do we get to go do that again, or is that done?
That's something we're going to have to figure out later. Because it
just seems weird that kind of dead ended there.
Yeah, we have a giant saucer, but we're going to just get in our gears.
It would be hilarious if we had the flying Yggdrasil for just one mission and then it moves on to a saucer.
That would be quite funny. Yeah, so the next item on the agenda is to go destroy the gates, and we somehow know, and I'm not quite sure why we know this, but we somehow know there is a gear-sized cave near here.
Yeah, Sigurd says there's one
in it. Yeah,
and which is just convenient information for Sigurd to pull out right now.
Yeah, thanks, Sigurd.
Something conspicuous happens immediately, though, right? Who opts out of this operation? Who says they can't come?
I don't know.
Sidon.
Really?
Sidon says he opts out.
Well, I remember this now, yeah. But if you go talk to him, do you know what he says?
No, I didn't talk to him.
Like, this is kind of where we stop. This is kind of where this chapter ends. But like, if you go talk to Sidon, he's like, well, I wouldn't mind going. And you can actually...
Oh, you can actually get... Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe that's like retcon as him trying to sneak out to go to the JPEG room, but when you call him on it, he's like, oh, no, I can come.
Yeah.
I can come. I don't need to go talk to no one.
Yeah, it's weird. So that's it. The only other note I have here is that as sort of they are resolving to go and destroy the gate, the leftovers from the Dreams of the Strong begins to play again here.
Okay.
So
cool. Close it out.
We've hit all the notes here. So yeah, this will be quite a excursion here, because I think the game is heading to the point where we have to go find or destroy or activate or whatever those three gates.
Gate Gauntlet.
So anyway,
join us next time for Gate 1, Margie.
Yeah, Gate 1, Margie. I don't predict now. Go on the record now. Are we going to be able to do all the gates in one podcast, or are we going to do one podcast per gate?
I'm not entirely sure. I want to say all because in my brain it's just all boss battles and stuff, but I don't know how much dialogue or maybe ministry sequences or any of that stuff is like intercut in there.
We are barreling towards the end of disc 1, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting close.
We only have a couple chapters left. I think maybe 4.
Yeah.
So there are less than 4. There are 4 or less podcasts left in our analysis.
See if Chris can figure out how to switch discs on his PS Classic, and see if I can figure out how to switch disc on a SIO device.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know how to do both of those.
Okay.
No, I know how to do one of those. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get there. So we did it. We're through Protect Nisan, or whatever it's called.
Smile of Nisan.
Did this chapter have an exclamation point? I think it did.
Yes.
Okay.
Protect Nisan.
Yes, we did. We have protected Nisan for now, at least.
Chris is holding up a handwritten outro, folks.
Thank you for listening today. Stay tuned for after this podcast for outtakes, because there's probably going to be some there. By the way, because some dumb shit happened today.
Some tangents.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Subscribe to our podcast anywhere where podcasts are found. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Follow us on Twitter at retroamnesiapod. Thank you to Mark
Shepherd
for the intro track. We are not on Facebook. Email us at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com. Send us questions and comments and stuff on our Twitter account on this link. You can click there to send us questions. I can't remember what it's called. Beacon? Sure. Until next time.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now you may go back to sleep. That was a long podcast.
Let me guess. Hour 20?
Yeah, hour 24.
Shit.
I could have a long conversation about the Ninja Turtles reboot because it's real fucking good. But they changed Cowabunga to Booyakasha, but at some point they go in an alternate dimension and meet the original Ninja Turtles from the 90s cartoon that we used to watch.
Are they animated?
Yes. They
like 2D cells?
Yes, once they go into space, once they go through space time, they come out and they're 2D animated. And the two Michelangelos have a conversation about which better, Cowabunga or Booyakasha.
Okay, no, that's redeemed.
Fucking,
Thank you.
It's fucking
pretty
terrific.
Good. That's great.
Like when Shredder gets beat, he falls in the trash in the fucking trash compactor.
Yes,
and Casey Jones presses it and says "oops," just like in the like.
Great.
It's full of that shit.
So, yeah.
Call Josh over here. Let's start a Ninja Turtles podcast. Okay.
You should see Star Wars.
Delete that if you want. Put it in the notes.
It'll be, yeah.
Okay. Put it in the end. Okay.
Good job, Faye. I want to give him a pad and feed him a Christ wafer. You all right?
Yeah, okay.
So, dude, what the fuck? Did I fucking delete it? Chris deleted it out of my
There was a
my
copy and
document.
paste thing. What does it do?
I have to have the name.
The Doctor's Afraid of Heights.
Yes, he goes here. Yes, he says this thing's called Fort Jasper and points out you can see Babel Tower. Chris just said that. Eventually, we get to another Jasper Lop.
Yep. Jasper Lop.
Jasper Lop. I think Mark Hamill was a dub in the original Yakuza.
Oh, also he was the Joker.
Of course.
Everybody knows that.
It's the Joker's trick. So you mentioned Metal Gear Solid 3 ladder. Real quick take. Is that hilarious or awesome?
Can it be both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I like it because, specifically with Metal Gear Solid 3, I like it because it slowly builds the Snake Eater song. It gets it. So it starts off being like, what the fuck? And then by the end of it, it's like, this is dramatic as hell.
Like video game.
It's probably maybe one of the most beautiful moments of traversal in the history of video games. But
Murder a Cosmonaut.
I digress. My mom said, everybody put your phones away. I said, I can't. I'm working on my notes for my podcast.
That's
No, sorry. I don't play grade school sports because I'm not in grade school, Eric.
when you were... Okay, well, I'm going to explain this in the outtakes. When you play sports in Kentucky in grade school in the 90s, you or your parents have to go work a bingo hall to pay for the shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I never had to do that.
Yeah, well...
I think mine was my parents had to work at the concession stand.
Ooh.
And sell hot dogs. God.
Serve their peers.
Sometime I'm going to have to talk about my experience working at a pull tab tent at a Catholic church picnic.
God damn it, that was dark.
It's fucking rough, man. And I got it out of there before the sun went down, too. So, like, I had the early shift. It was fucking rough, man. I'm like, this woman was like, I just spent $200 and I won $14. And I'm like...
Yes.
I'm like...
The odds are on the back.
I'm like, stop blowing smoke in your grandchild's face. You fucking degenerate.
Stop playing the lottery.
Stop playing. It's math.
I know it's not your fault, but please stop.
I know you're having fun, but we have fun too. But we haven't even.
I got this.
I don't even know if we spent $200. We've probably spent like roughly $200 on this podcast, and we're bringing joy to the world. At least joy to like a couple hundred people.
Yeah, peace on earth. I mean, I didn't spend a lot at those picnics, but I got my framed Bugs Bunny picture after I put the fucking golf ball in the fishbowl. I got a UNC Tar Heels mini basketball.
I did it for my sister.
Cool.
She was raising money for her classroom or something.
Aren't lucky you.
So yeah, Margie's not okay.
She's passed the fuck out. I sound all right. That one episode of Flapjaw Space is still available at flapjawspace.com.
Oh yeah, it is. I think I don't think it's on Apple. I don't know.
First time we were watching The Americans, Tiffany said, "Is that fucking Louis C.K.?" when there was a picture of him, and I was like, "No."
Oh man. You and Tiffany should do an Americans podcast.
Thought about doing The Sopranos.
The furthest degree of a retroactive shitstorm that you can take is just take a huge shit on an entire game and record an entire.
It's so
podcast
retro,
about
the
it.
shit goes back up your ass.
Yeah, it does.